This is a matter for the entire board, and it is kind of a shame the entire board is not here, but what I do have is an agreement. It's an intergovernmental agreement that bears the signatures of Aaron Kubik, City Manager, and Mark Bartholomew, City Attorney for Grants Pass. And this should have been in your packet, but that having been said, there's a lot of technical stuff in here that is probably worth just going over in advance while we're here, and so everybody knows what it is you're being asked to sign. This was done in coordination between principally my office and Rob Brandis' office, Public Works, and the Public Works and planning entities at City and the legal counsel at City. This agreement was based upon a draft of an agreement that was sent to the county in 2012 by the city. Several things have changed, however, and so we came to this agreement on the basis of how reality is at the moment. Going through the recitals, one thing that we have learned, so number 3 is that the current right-of-way for Allen Creek Road is 40 feet. That is based upon research that Public Works did. They had to go back many, many decades to learn what the actual right-of-way is that we're dealing with at the moment. And so in the event that the right-of-way would need to be expanded, and it does seem likely that the city is going to want to expand the right-of-way to complete this project, then there would need to be you need to go through the eminent domain process. I'm not declaring that you're going to take property. I mean, but certainly ODOT, yes.
The statements that we would have to go through the eminent domain process only if the parties don't cooperate.
Agree to sell.
Right.
That's right.
So eminent domain is not an absolute.
No.
Because there are several people there. I guess they've talked to some of them that are willing to sell. And
okay.
I've had that conversation with the city in regards to property trade, property swaps, because some of those homes that are close to the right-of-way actually have land behind them that can be swapped for frontage, for front roads. So I just want us to be careful about not saying eminent domain is going to occur, because eminent domain may not occur.
No, there's a lot of steps that proceed.
A lot of steps before it ever gets there.
Right. And of course, eminent domain is specifically addressed by the Takings Clause of the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. So this is a constitutional provision, but it would need to be
with compensation.
Exactly. And the final step in all of that, if everything doesn't work out, is that the judge would, in theory, order it after a court hearing, a trial. All of that. So, but anyway, ODOT does the negotiations, or is lined up to do the negotiations for this particular project, and they have some experts who know what they're doing in that respect. All right. Okay. And all right. So I wanted to point that out. Just some of the other high points here. All right. So if we can move on now to county responsibilities. This is on page 2 of 7. And we have crafted this in a way that is meant to be very specific in terms of what the county would be expected to do by the city down the road once the time comes. Sorry?
Down the road. That's good.
Thank you. Yes. Pardon the expression. Let's see. Letter D on here does state the county shall cooperate with the city in the city's acquisition of right-of-way for the Allen Creek Road Improvement Project per the intergovernmental agreement that the city and ODOT have signed. And the county's cooperation will be limited to county adopting a resolution of intention and determination of necessity in accordance with applicable statutes, authorizing acquisition and condemnation, and allowing the city to pursue any required property right acquisitions in the name of the county for the proposed project through the process of condemnation, and the resolution shall be substantially in the form attached here to as Exhibit B. Well, that's a long way of saying that there will be down the line or road another vote by the board in order to see this project through, and that would be on the resolution of necessity. And so that's Pat has created a template for that we can have included here as part of the agreement, so you can see what that would involve. The resolution of necessity is one of the prerequisites towards taking property, even, of course, with the just compensation being assigned. And so that will be a vote that the County Board of Commissioners will need to take down the line, and you're formally agreeing to that here.
Yeah, okay, I certainly am agreeing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just to maximize the level of clarity, that's why we put a template version of that and attached it to the back of this agreement. So nobody's wondering what's going to happen there.
Right, and that's, the clear communication of the information
Yes.
is always beneficial.
That's what we were seeking here. And it wasn't easy to get there, but we did through a lot of effort. Okay, going on to F, this is another point that we wanted to be crystal clear on. The county shall provide to city a sum not to exceed $120,000 as its total financial commitment to the project. And what we were trying to address there was that we didn't want the city thinking that if they do and when they do need to buy property, that the county is now going to be participating in that and kind of.
Isn't this road dollars?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's road dollars. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, isn't it? This was money that was originally allocated to another project and then was split between. That's at 61.
Yeah, this is the expanding the. Yes.
Yes, that's where it came from. The roads. Yes, the fund.
I think you said that. Yeah. So I can't give you the final answer on that.
I'm trying to remember the name, but I
The project was.
can't remember the name of the project. But yes,
I think that's right.
the sum total of it. Yes.
Right. And so, okay, city responsibilities is number 2. And then, so you've got some pretty specific things here. You've got in letter D, for example, the city shall lead the right-of-way acquisition process of the Allen Creek Road Improvement Project. And E, the city shall agree to condemn property as deemed necessary to acquire the right-of-way to construct Allen Creek Road Improvement Project to meet the city and ODOT roadway standards. So the city is really going to be the one taking the lead on this. The county's next 2 real levels of engagement are 1, cut them a check for $120,000, and 2, when the time comes after the cooperation has been adhered throughout the rest of the provisions of this agreement, do an appropriate resolution of necessity. So that's the short version of it, but the long version is what counts here today.